Unfortunately enough, I would be willing to bet that pretty much every single one of you has had to deal with toxic players in your game. Whether it's someone typing abusive garbage in chat, being a total asshole over voice, or just trolling the team by feeding the opposition. Dealing with toxic players is a frustration that every single one of us has to endure at some point. And you might say to me, well, Force, it's easy to deal with toxic players, just mute them. But that's not really a good solution, especially in competitive play where communication is also important. And then we can't forget the fact that all trolling isn't verbal. You'll get some people in your game who will do things like suicide and feed the enemy team nonstop. Those are also players that you don't want in your games. Now, the issue of toxicity was recently brought up on the forums, and there was a suggestion to add a vote kick system to the game. Jeff Kaplan responded to this thread saying that we're just as concerned about it as you guys are. Our first step is reviewing our current reporting system. This is well underway, and we have some changes to the design that we think will help. Once we can update the reporting design, we are also going to internally review all of our policies, including punishments. And when it comes to punishments, this is the really big issue. What are our options for dealing with toxic players? Because muting isn't the answer, because that toxic player is just going to go to another game and have likely the same behaviors. Now, the hope is that with a new revamp for player reporting, dealing with toxic players is going to be more effective, essentially. Now, the idea of vote kick probably wouldn't work in competitive play. Obviously, being down a player is too big of an issue. They raised the idea of adding this looking for member system to replace people who left the game, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe you could have a vote kick system in quick play, but competitive play, this doesn't seem like a good solution or one that would work, especially when you consider the opportunity for people to abuse a vote kicking system where the toxic players are the actual ones using it most often just to kick people out of their team. I mean, it's too messy. It's not an eloquent of enough solution, in my opinion. I think one of the best potential solutions would just be to place them in this low priority queue. If a player receives enough reports that they're being toxic, you could put them in a low priority queue with other people who have also received a lot of reports for being toxic. Whenever this idea comes up, though, people say, well, what about those who troll to report others? And, you'd get someone like a YouTuber like me or Twitch person just getting low priority queue because a bunch of people thought it'd be funny to all report this person. But these are edge cases, and the design of the entire system should not revolve around a select few handful of YouTubers and Twitch personalities who, maybe 4chan decides to mass report one afternoon. Those can be sorted out on an individual basis. The system as a whole is not likely to have that be an issue. Plus, you can circumvent that by having this done over extended periods of time. So if a player receives a single toxicity report, it's not a big deal, whatever. Maybe they were having a bad afternoon, or maybe someone abused the reporting tool and they weren't actually being toxic. However, if that person receives consistent toxicity reports from multiple different users over the course of multiple days and weeks, then they get placed into that low priority queue for a set amount of time, let's say like a week or two. And then if the reporting of that player continues, they stay in that low priority queue for longer. If they clean up their behavior and stop being verbally abusive and stop trolling and feeding the enemy team, then they can leave that and join the ranks of other people, which they would have the incentive to do because low priority queue would undoubtedly have very, very long queue times. The thing to consider is that you will never be able to remove assholes from online games. It's a constant. We can expect to always have them. The best that we can hope for is a good reporting system and a punishment system that can mitigate the damage that they deal. Since Blizzard is deciding to revamp their current system, it's obvious that what they have at the moment isn't working. And we also have to be concerned of people abusing these simple reporting systems. I mean, I've heard stories of Torbjorn mains getting bans because they were mass reported for trolling. But hey, I mean, they were good. There were masters and grandmaster players. Reporting for toxicity for someone picking a hero that you don't like, it's actually the person who's doing that reporting who is being toxic and trolling. And they should also consider people who abuse and overuse the reporting system. If you have a single user who's reporting someone for toxicity in every single one of their games, there's a good chance that they are the toxic one. And that's something that Blizzard also needs to address. Either way though, toxic players are an annoyance, they're a problem, and just muting them isn't a solution, especially in competitive play. We need better systems, which thankfully Blizzard is working on, and we need proper punishments to dissuade them from this behavior. That's how society works. That's how punishments in real life work. You go to jail if you murder someone. This stops people from murdering someone considering the consequences. Now, people will still do it, but less murders happen as a result. At least that's the philosophy behind it. A good punishment system is required because, as a general rule of thumb, lots of people are assholes. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. How should Blizzard deal with toxicity? What is proper punishment? And what revamps do you think that they need to their system to dissuade people from being pricks in competitive play? All right, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later.